Good evening, everyone. I'm Brian Holloway. Welcome back to the Aggie Pridecast. Here with you a little earlier this evening because we got a lot going on in Aggie Athletics. Our baseball team plays in about an hour, 6 p.m. against High Point University down at War Memorial Stadium. Men's tennis is on the road tonight. They're playing at North Carolina Wesleyan, so a lot of A&T action today. So we wanted to make sure we're not bumping against those guys, but we also wanted to make sure that we tell you about something that is exciting happening this weekend at the Lady Aggie Softball Complex. The North Carolina A&T softball team will take on the Elon Phoenix in a 3-game series starting on Friday, but on Saturday, we will be honoring the 1979 state championship team. They will have their banner unveiled on that day. It's going to be a very exciting time. That will be the first time in the 20-year history of the Lady Aggie Softball Complex that they've had a banner unveiled there. So it's going to be a very historic day. 1 p.m. is the first pitch, hoping to get those festivities started at around 12:40. So if you're out at the A&T, come on out. Honor these ladies. They did a fantastic job. They're part of our rich athletics history at North Carolina A&T. And with me today is Frankie Williams-Howell. She played on that 1979 team. And also with me is our head coach, Jose Gonzalez Jr., who did an outstanding job of helping put this together, making sure that we're honoring our past in the North Carolina A&T softball program. So very exciting there. And then also, before we get into that, track and field is here this weekend. They will be hosting their first meet over at Marcus T. Johnson track. So a lot of action going on at North Carolina A&T. Make sure you are a part of that. And that will be both things will be streamed on Flow Sports, the track and field, and the softball. So let's get into it. Coach, man, you were instrumental in getting this thing going and making sure that, we're honoring our past. What does it mean to you to bring back some of that rich history and see it unveiled on Saturday?
Well, I say it's a blessing because it's something that could have been done years, but for me to be the head coach here at the time it's happening now, it'll be a moment that I always remember in a part of my career at A&T. So this is just a wonderful thing to recognize these young ladies who won a championship back in 1979. And it's just an honor to be the coach here today to be able to help make this come to existence.
No question about it. Certainly long overdue for these ladies, and certainly a very historic time. Frankie, what's your fondest memory of all of that as you think back to that 1979 team?
Well, let me start off by saying thank you first for inviting me to come on board, but we're not so young anymore. So, looking back on it, it was a fun time. I made friendships that have lasted, almost 50 years now. And we, were new, we were first generation college students. I basically just wandered out there. I said, let me go out here and check, see what this softball team looks like. Because I'm from a little town called North Wilkesboro, North Wilkesboro. We're really known for chicken, Holly Farm chicken, and race car driving and moonshine.
Oh, we got to explore that a little bit. I ain't heard that term in a long time. Not moonshine, okay?
Yeah, so I just kind of wandered out there, and I knew I could play. I knew I could play. Back when I was going to school, we would pick teams. Mm-hmm. So I'd be one of the first girls that the guys would pick. Yeah, I want Frankie. So, wandering out there on that softball field and, meeting Coach Joyce Spruill and whatnot, I met some of the best ball playing women ever. And I, as a child, at 12 years old, I was traveling. I guess it would be AAU now. But I was traveling with grown women, at 11 and 12 years old, playing tournament ball. So there's just so much to tell. There's so many memories, and I just get overwhelmed sometimes, when we start talking about it.
Yeah. I tell you
what
what, I mean,
okay,
I mean interrupt, but when we have alumni day and they come in there and they talk about that '79 championship team and get them all riled up in one area, I tell you, it's something special. It's something special,
Yeah.
and like I tell my team now today, like these will be memories that these women will have
yeah,
forever.
yeah,
And the most important piece you said before was you building relationships with your teammates that you want to have forever. And and you will always have that. So it's wonderful to have them in those meetings talking about the championship team and
Absolutely.
just having the laughs and a good time. So that's
Yeah.
awesome.
yeah. No question about it. And I think that's the wonderful thing I always loved about sports is that for 20, 30, 40 years, you and a bunch of other people have a shared experience. You had a shared common goal, and when you come together, it's like you've never were apart because you have some of those shared experiences. What is that like for you, Frankie, when you are able to get with some of those ladies and you're able to reminisce? What is that like for you?
One of the most unique things is that we all remember something different, for the most
Yeah.
part. Um, I, di- I recall, Coach Sproul being over on the sideline telling me eat that greasy meat, and I'm thinking, greasy meat. Who wants greasy meat? But we were eating them up. We were eating them up, So we get
Mhm.
together and we talk about that final out. We talk about looking over. There was a 2-game. It was a doubleheader that day. We had to win 2 games back to back because we had fought our way out of the losers bracket. And NC State was the one that put us in the losing bracket. So to be able to come out of that losing bracket and beat them back to back. And when the first game started, there was hardly anybody in the stands. So by the time, we beat them that first game, we took an intermission. You had a little break there. And then when we came back for that second game, the stands were full, but they weren't A&T fans.
Oh no.
And then we looked over there and we see, I guess she's nationally renowned Coach Kay Al had come out. She'd driven up from Raleigh. We were in Graham, North Carolina, and she drove up from Raleigh. And she was over there trying to help the coach, strategize on how to beat us. But it was just an exceptionally talented team.
Yeah. Where was the game actually played at?
It was all I remember is that Graham, North Carolina, down near
Okay.
Elon, the little township
Mhm.
Graham, and I
Okay.
would assume it was a city park.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
That's wonderful.
You,
Yeah.
you know,
So I
we
mean,
oh, go ahead, Coach. I'm sorry.
no, I was just gonna say, so I mean, it's good to hear them talk about it, and that's what I'm trying to get the young ladies today to understand. And you're looking at our history, we trying to get there. And I want to be able to bring a championship program here at North Carolina A&T, so we can have those same memories and everything too. Is it going to be something overnight? No, it's going to take a little minute, to kind of get everything going. But we want those memories. I want those memories for those young ladies, the alumni, and everybody, the athletic department and everything as well too.
I'd like for your audience to remember that when I came to A&T's from 76 to 80, the women's athletic program was 1 year in. So I think it started in 75. I came in 76. And it wasn't a financially flourishing venture. I remember, the away trips. I wish those girls could see the uniforms that we had. They gave us sleeves, so you'd have the white bodice, but then you had blue sleeves and yellow sleeves, and depending on who did the laundry, those sleeves would be light yellow, almost white, or they could be purple, So, the polyester pants, they hung in there pretty good.
Yeah.
But to see what those girls have today, the Lady Aggies, I was amazed. I went to the game on Friday and they were playing in navy. I came back the next day and they had on gray. And then I saw a video, they had gold uniforms. We wish We wish, I think at the, I remember, we had about 5 bats for the whole team. You got 15 girls and got 5 bats. And I bet you 10 of us used the same bat, every time we went up to the plate. But it was raw talent, nothing but raw talent, and the love for the game. We hadn't, I never even heard of a softball camp or training programs, batting cages, anything like that. As a matter of fact, my mom had 5 kids at one point, and I was the only girl. My dad coached Little League Baseball. And so every year she'd buy me a baby doll. And I hated baby dolls because who am I going to play with doll with? So I would let my brothers convince me to pull the head off the baby doll, and we would stuff rags into the head and make us a baseball. So as I said, my dad was a Little League baseball coach. So I got to travel along, when he'd go through the neighborhood and pick up the little boys, to go to practice. I wanted to be on the back of the truck too. Could never understand why he wouldn't let me ride back there. But we'd get to practice, and then he would tell me, he let me go play for a little while. Then he called me and tell me to get first, get second, and then at the end of the practice, he'd say, "Okay, guys, we got to let Frankie hit." And, the boys, they're going to strike out that girl. But this girl was determined they weren't going to strike me out. So to go from baseball to softball, it was an easy transition for me.
Yes, ma'am. Good. Well, just hearing you speak on, and I'm sorry, Mr.
Go ahead.
But just to hear you speak on, the uniforms and what these young ladies have today, and I remind them every day, if it wasn't for you all paving the way for this program to be here, I know we're getting ready to celebrate, or we celebrating 50 years of softball being here at North Carolina A&T, which is wonderful. That's a great achievement too as well. But just to hear you say that, and I tell those young ladies all the time, like, we got to do this for the ladies who paved the way for this program, because it's real important that we show that. So,
and
I'm trying.
And let me interject. I'm sorry to cut you off, but
No.
let me interject that they even get to play at home. We never had a game on campus.
Yeah.
We were bused, across town, 16th Street. I can't remember the name of the little park where we would practice, but it was there was never any fans for us, and somebody's boyfriend, may come along or whatnot.
Yeah.
But Coach Sproul had a lot of family that followed us, but we were loners out there. And to be in a Division I, that's huge. That's huge.
Yeah, that's huge. Yep.
Frank, I wanted to ask, when you see the growth of not only softball but women's sports in general, and understanding what you guys had and seeing what they have now, does it give you a sense of pride that you guys kind of stuck with it? You kind of stayed there to the and help build this foundation for a program, and to see it flourish now. How does that kind of hit you a little bit?
Man, good gracious, yeah, it's awesome. I think when they passed Title IX, and they had to put that money with female athletics, they didn't know what to do with us. They just threw ets on them. Thus, we were the Aggie ets. Winston-Salem was the Ram ets, and Livingstone were the Bear ets. Everybody was an et. But just to see the transition from, bleached sleeves to multiple uniforms to an absolutely beautiful complex. I was so impressed, when I came a few weeks ago and watched them play. It's phenomenal. It's absolutely amazing to see what has transpired over there, and see the transition.
Yeah, and we're still growing.
I can only imagine.
Coach, what do you hope your young ladies can learn from this 1979 team, and what do you think their reaction will be when they see that banner unveiled? How much motivation do you think that will give them to want to have their own banner?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a big piece of, motivating these young ladies to get out there and compete just a little bit more. And also, we had a chance to sit down with the team and alumni already. I mean, they already kind of got that bond going. So it's gonna be wonderful for them to be out there to support this 1979 championship team. And I think that if they like me, which they are, it's going have a good feeling about it. It's just that feeling you just have as an athlete to get out there and compete and play, and just a pride thing, and to see that, you know, man, this is happening. This is something that we want to try to accomplish too as well in our 4 years while we're here at North Carolina A&T. Yeah.
We're here with Frankie Williams Howell. She was on that 1979 A&T softball team that won the state championship. We were here with head coach Jose Gonzalez Jr. Frankie, we know how NC State is perceived these days, East Carolina, Appalachian State. And you guys, were they stay the same big names back then as they are now? And what did it mean for you guys to beat NC State not only once, but you beat them twice to go ahead and get the championship?
Back, baby, back to back. Those were prominent teams, let's not forget Campbell and UNC Charlotte, Appalachian, UNCG, and I try not to harp on it, but it's such a prominent part of my memory is how they were dressed. To see them pull up on their air conditioned buses, and they got Fairway, warm up suits. They've got the nicest looking cleats you'd ever want to see. They got bat bags. I wish I did have a bat bag, just to see them pull up, and then the multitude of colors and whatnot. But I think that what we accomplished should have been recognized years ago, but we'll take what we can get, because all for the last 46 years, it's just been talk. We're going to get, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. I know at one time there was a banner in the gymnasium, but I was an entrepreneur and self-employed at that time. I was a caterer, so I couldn't make that particular event. But for the ones that did go, it's a sense of pride. And, when I tell people we are the first team, male or female, to win a Division I state championship, NCAIAW Division I, it's huge. It's huge. And it's, for me, it's one of those little known Black history facts.
Yeah, that's right. What I'm curious what the reaction was after you guys got back to campus. I'm just curious, was there an acknowledgement then, or did you guys feel like you were slighted even in the moment?
Oh, we were. Bottom line, it was just something we did. As a matter of fact, I don't even think we realized at that time, that particular moment, that we made history.
Yeah.
We were just out there playing ball, playing with our hearts out. Coach was strategizing, and we got runners on first and second. Hey, we need to hit behind the runner. We're going to right field. We had girls do that. Just walk up there and look, see where the gap is. And Alice Lyons, I've never seen a first baseman stretch the way that girl could stretch. Lori Irwin Kirk, one of the fastest runners ever. She was our leader of that. Then you come back with Renee Alfred and, oh my gosh, Michelle Spruill that saved the game. Bases loaded, bottom of the seventh, 2 outs, score 7-5, and this big old girl comes up and she just belts that ball out. I think that thing looked like it went a country mile. Michelle chased it down. I mean, it was exciting. When you relive it, when we relive it, we just get so excited. And I know we talk about it a lot, but that was a major feat for us.
Hey, you're right. You need to talk about it, and that's why we're here today for talking about it, and I remember we met 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, and that was something you talked about, and I listened, and I was like, this is something we need to get recognized. I know,
Yeah.
and like once again, I feel good to be able to be a part of this under my time here as coaching at A&T right now, to be able to do it, and it's something that happened in '79. Man, it's a blessing. So I'm happy
Yes.
for y'all. I want y'all to be recognized, and continue to come to the games and support, and just be that extra piece for the young ladies today.
Amen.
We are here with Frankie Williams-Howe, part of that 1979 team. She made the all-tournament team from what I read, and also head coach Jose Gonzalez Jr. So she must have been a bad lady, out there on that softball field, and we're happy to have her with us here this evening. A&T and Elon play 1 o'clock Saturday before the game. We will unveil the 1979 banner for the team. It'll be the first banner ever down at the Lady Aggie Softball Complex. And so certainly a very proud moment for them, dating back to 1979 and some of those wonderful memories that they have and that they put together. Coach, let's talk a little bit about your current team and what you've been able to see from them this season, and what do you think needs to be the next step as you guys try to improve the program and try to put a banner up for yourself?
Well, in today's world and sports, it boils down to recruiting, and we got to continue to find the most talented player academically and on the field, softball field, and we know that we got a young team right now today. We got a lot of young players that's playing, that's stepping up, doing some big things, and once they learn to how to play together and trust one another as a team that's still kind of growing together. These young ladies, I think they're gonna be pretty good. We got some young pitching mixed with some older pitching that we have right now that is using this year to grow and see what it's like to compete in the CAA. As you all know, that this is not no little pushover league. CAA has some very good talented softball teams in it, and a lot of the coaches that's here in this, majority of them have been there a while, so they have their program set and recruiting and all that set, and here I am today trying to build that same type of program. Have some stability in the program, and once again, just recruiting those young ladies, and you know, a lot of teams are using the portal, and the transfer portal is a big thing now. Where you got kids leaving their previous schools to find another home. I don't want to be a portal type of coach, but if I need to find some positions that I need that experience in, and that can come help us, get this program going, I will do that. Because I just want the young ladies to be able to grow together for their 4 years at the university. But we just got to keep doing what we're doing. They're growing every day now. They learn from their mistakes, and we enjoying the good times right now that we have and embracing those as well. But once this team really, really get to where they need to be in the next few years with chemistry and all that, I think we're gonna be all right in the CAA.
Certainly some exciting moments this season from the Aggies. Had some back-to-back walk-off wins against
Yeah.
Townsend. And so certainly some exciting things that have happened this season and some great things to come. Aaliyah Williams, I think Ayanna Mears is going to be, an outstanding player for us. Trinity Glover hit one of those walk-offs, that home run. So, certainly some exciting action here. I want to send a shout out to Clayton Smith. He says he remembers the great Frankie Williams along with Alice Lyons. So he's got some memories of that 1979 A&T softball team. And shout out to Henry Dalton. He says he watches every game on Flow Sports. So we certainly got some fans, some A&T softball fans. Hope you come out on Saturday to honor this 1979 team. Huge part of A&T's history, huge part of the championship history here at North Carolina A&T, and certainly want to be able to honor them. Frankie, when you hear about transfer portals and NILs and all this other kind of stuff, did you ever think we get here? I mean, this is kind of a crazy time in college athletics.
Man, until I heard about this Malaysia fool Wally in the South Carolina, going into the trade, I went online today to see if I could see who is in the transfer portal. I never heard tell of such. I watch NBA, with my husband and son, and I told him, I said, there's no loyalty anymore. When did Jimmy Butler go to the Heat? I'm just amazed how players just swap teams. Before I put on this A&T Hall of Fame jersey, I had on my Lakers. I've been a Laker fan since 1968. I'm not changing.
Wow.
We got the Hornets. We've got the Panthers, but I'm not changing. I'm like, and it just amazes me. It blows my mind at how there's just no loyalty. I was an Aggie. I was dug in. I had an aunt down at North Carolina Central that was begging me to come down to North Carolina Central, but I was dug in. So Aggie born, Aggie bred, and I'm bleeding Aggie blue.
What do you tell young people about A&T, Frankie? What is special about A&T in your mind?
One of the things that I always say, and my daughter is an A&T graduate, and she had come to me and she was thinking about going to UNC Charlotte. And I told her, I said, you owe it to yourself to experience campus life on an HBCU at least 1 year. And I told her, I said, and this was 25 years ago, I said, you will make friends, that'll last your lifetime. I mean, I met in 76, that's 49 years ago. I'm still in touch with these girls. We still laugh, we tell the same old stories, but they don't get old. And so the relationships that you build, I think that the teachers or the instructors, at least then my experience was they took a greater interest in you. They, I remember I skipped a milk processing class of some sort, at one time, and the instructor asked me to stay after class. And he asked me, he said, why are you here? And he said, why'd you come to class today? And I said, well, I thought it was time. And he said, you do know you're failing my class. Why waste your parents' money? The program that I was in was a food science program. I did supposed to do 3 years at A&T, 1 year at NC State. I got to NC State and I walked into an auditorium. I know there had to be 200 kids up in there. And I was like, wow, there's a bunch of people up in here. Everything was operated off of your social security number. They didn't know who I was, but Mr. Starlitz, Dr. Starlitz knew who I was. Dr. Boyd, Leon Boyd knew who I was, and they would call me out when I messed up. So I think that that's something that you get when you go to an HBCU. They want us to succeed, So I'm a better person for it, and I loved the experience.
Yeah, that's awesome because I mean, that's all because just being the coach, I can see it. Everywhere we go, it's Aggie Pride. And it's a market that's just unreal. It's so big. I mean, we just flew to New York. I mean, and you got blacks, whites, Puerto Rican. Everybody's saying something about Aggie Pride, and
Amen.
and I really, and I feel good about that. And that's one of the things I noticed of being, here at North Carolina A&T is just the school pride. And like you say, you'll get things that, normally at big schools you won't be able to get. That family feel, somebody's going to be there to help you and guide you in the right direction. So that's awesome.
No question about it. Frank, I do want to ask you, you said the stories are the same, but are the distance of the home runs the same? Because did the home run start out at 250 feet?
You know I hit that ball first and that big old girl hit that ball. I'm telling you, I'm more we could hit. Everybody on that team could hit. Shirley Hall, Mamie Jones, Valerie Capehart.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you name them, they could hit that ball. And the thing was, coach took time to put us in situational plays. We had, she'd call 3-1, 1-3. I can't remember exactly what it was now, but we would be in situational play. So when they came up during the game, we were prepared for it, because we had rehearsed it. And it's I wish y'all could have seen the arm on Shirley Hall. I mean, she would throw women out from left field to first base.
Wow.
They were just phenomenal players. I was blessed. I was blessed, and I'm still blessed to know them.
Yeah.
And I would like to say one more thing, in that we have lost Michelle Spruill. She has passed away. She was the player that saved the game for us, that won that tournament, and I think I think when we started, one of you said young ladies. We're in our upper 60s now. So, to be able to still have our mental capacity about us and be able to sit down and recollect. And I have tried my best. I'm still working on it. I'm writing celebrities now that may, produce a documentary. We need a documentary or even a big screen movie. I mean, we could put A League of Their Own to shame, with the skills that we had. And am I bragging? Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. If you did it, flaunt it. Rest in peace to Michelle Spruill. Certainly, love the Aggie and all those kind of things. I think we may have lost. There he is. So certainly want to send those condolences out. Frankie, we can't let you go without a good Joyce Spruill story.
My Joyce Spruill story is, I'm from North Wilkesboro. I don't have quite the mountaineer accent that I once had, but it's still there a little bit. And she would walk up to me and she heard me say ice one day. And so she would walk up to me and she'd say, "How you pronounce ICE?" And I'd say ice. And she'd say RICE. I'd say rice. And I didn't catch it, that she was making fun of my little twang, But everybody was Leroy. She always, she'd call you, "Hey, Leroy," that kind of stuff. And up until I met Coach Spruill, I'd always had, white men as coaches. And so, they're a little more reserved, when they talk to you. But Coach Spruill, she lets you know, you mess up, you're going to run that hill. So I just love the experience.
No question about it. North Carolina A&T will take on Elon on Saturday, April 19th, 1 o'clock p.m. Before the game, we're going to unveil the 1979 championship banner. Coach, what can we expect from the Phoenix this weekend? What do they bring to the table? I know we have Presbyterian. I know coaches hate to look ahead.
Yeah. I mean, just for the weekend, because we're celebrating Elon, that once again, they got a coach that's been there for over so many years, 10 plus, I know. And they're a little bit more veteran team. So they've been playing together for a little bit. They're going to have experience. A team that's going to try to control the game a little bit as far as offensive, defensively. But we practicing right now to get ready for them. I think that we match up pretty equal with them. And I tell the ladies, it's not how we start, it's how we finish. And let's continue to finish as a unit and be together and believe in one another and love one another as a family, and everything's possible. But yeah, that's what it's gonna be. We've been scouting them, and I've been looking at them, and they're just playing good softball right now as a unit because they have the players that they got coming back. Got more seniors than I do. So, and that's just what they're gonna bring. But we're gonna play our game too as well. We just eliminate the mistakes, and play clean softball, we always have a chance and opportunity to be in the game.
5 games this week. You have a Presbyterian doubleheader tomorrow. How will that get you ready for the Phoenix going into the weekend?
I believe, games always get you more prepared than practice because now you're really fighting for something. You're playing against somebody else. And the way the schedule is built these days, you kind of have midweeks. But we're going to look at Presbyterian as another team that's in our schedule this year, to use everything that we can, that they can bring to help us get ready for the conference series. Because at the end of the day, Elon, these conference games is much more important, because that's what's helped you get to postseason, So we're gonna go out there and we're gonna play the game and use what they bring to make us better to get ready to prepare for Elon.
No question about it. 2 wonderful guests today. Man, this has been a lot of fun. Just going down memory lane. I probably need a Mamie Jones story, but I'll probably try to get that over the weekend. But
nobody could turn a double play like Mamie Jones and Valerie Capehart. Now I'm telling you.
Yeah, shout out to Coach Jones. Just worked with her for a number of years, and just a wonderful person. Did something wonderful for me one time, and so shout out to her. No question about it, and just excited just to be able to have the ladies come back and be celebrated and honored and lionized and all those kind of things. And so it's going to be a wonderful weekend at A&T. Of course, we got some track and field here as well. So it's going to be just a wonderful weekend. Great to see the athletics department growing. And like Frankie said, just to be able to see women in a prominent role in athletics has just been is just great to see. And I hope you understand that you're part of that, the reason why that's happening.
All right. Well, we thank you. We thank you for this opportunity as well.
No question. Coach, any last words as we sign off?
Well, I just want to thank those young ladies, especially Coach Sproul. Also, I know Coach Mamie Jones too, so I didn't realize she was on that team as well. So it'll be good, if she comes out this Saturday where I can get a chance to see her because we competed against each other plenty of times in the MEAC. She got me for the first couple of years, and I got her for a couple of years. So that'd be wonderful to get a chance to see her again if she can come out this weekend.
Saturday afternoon, 1:00 at the Lady Aggie Softball Complex. Come on out, celebrate this team, meet them. I think you will be overjoyed to meet some of these folks and hear some of their stories. 1:00 first pitch, around 12:40, we'll start the ceremony. So really excited about that. Come on out. Aggie Pride is going to be on display. Frankie Williams-Howell, thank you. Coach Gonzalez, thank you. And we'll see you next time on the Aggie Pridecast.
All right. Thank you so much.